Hi and welcome to Warframe. Today we're going to take a look at the Rathbone. Again, not fully leveled. That's a whole different matter. Finally though, third weapon into the Arcwing melee arsenal. The first two have exactly the same damage to them. Speed, everything is the same apart from the actual speed. The status, everything else is exactly the same. This on the other hand isn't. As you can see, 210, 44. This one is based on impact, which means this thing will be good against shields. Finally, we have a weapon we can take to... have we got the name of the planet? Uranus, and beat on people with, and actually take the shields down. These two, not so much. The work, don't get us wrong, but this thing will just be a complete beast, in theory. It does look nice though, and it's supposed to have rockets in it, but I haven't seen them firing at all. I don't know why these weapons have wall attacks on them. You cannot run on a wall in space. You also, well, I guess you can spin. You can't leap though, because there is no jumping in space. But it does have decent stats to it. The crit chance is 15, over the normal one's 5. The status, however, is only 7.5. Over the normal one's, was it 10? Yeah. But the attack speed, however, is a 0.9. It literally puts it between the other two. And unlike the Volectus, or whatever it was called, the weapon that came out at the same time, it actually has a polarity to it. 1V polarity. The mods that we actually fitted into this, mainly because the blazing steel I have isn't really that high. Well, I haven't upgraded it at all. The sudden impact is... what was that? Status chance. Also not upgraded at all. So I just put the maxed mods I have for melee weapon. I thought I had a rare, but turns out I didn't. We basically have melee damage, the range of the melee damage, and the speed of the melee damage. So of course, after that we basically just threw electrical damage onto it, which is cold and electricity. That did add, I think it's, yeah, 806.4 to the cold damage, but the impact has gone up to 358. The other mods we have, like the status mods, they can go on here. This will come in useful, but the only other one I've really got that's of any use is as a bleeding edge, but it's crit damage, not crit chance. Because the crit chance of 15, increasing it would help with a melee weapon, not so much with the primary weapon that shot one round at a time. But this thing, you can swing it a few times, so the crit chance, it goes up with every round, with every hit. It doesn't actually go up, don't get me wrong on that one. Mashing melee does not increase the crit chance. It's just the more times you hit them, the more chance you will actually have of causing crit damage. But without the crit chance multiplier, the crit damage was pointless putting in. So it's like these are the only real 5 mods I have that are worth putting in here, apart from fire damage. And the fire damage, I might put it in there. It is a good weapon. It's not as stupidly big as the axe. I'm actually surprised I haven't nerfed the size of that by now and made it a little bit smaller. It does look nice, the axe, but this, I think this is probably going to be my go-to weapon for a while. Just because it does that impact damage, and impact is supposed to be good against shields. So definitely think I'm going to be sticking with this one for a while. Add that, and it actually folds away nicely. When you take it out, it just goes from being this little thing on the wing to being a hammer. Which is why I'm still weirded out by the fact it needs 2 handles to actually build this. Of course, on the note of the handles, apparently you get them from the sabotage missions. It's given out as a random reward at the end of sabotage missions. Cannot confirm that. I haven't had one yet, but that's mainly because just before these came out, I'd basically given up on the Archwing and went back to Earth. Well, I say Earth, but I literally mean any planet. I've been floating in space for 2 weeks playing this game. I've not been on a planet in 2 weeks, so I've basically just been doing interception missions, trying to get parts and other things. So I'm actually glad this is on sabotage missions. It means it gives people a reason to play the sabotage missions, because whatever they called it originally, the tunnel running, I look forward to that as a game mode. Like, oh, you've got a minute after you sabotage something to get off the ship, but you're in the middle of the ship, so you've got to go through the tunnels as quick as you can, especially with the bouncing off things. If you miss a corner and bounce off a wall, you can recover quickly, or you carry on your way, but that whole thing never even happened anyway. They just give us sabotage missions. So I do like to do those and try and go through the tunnels as quick as possible, which takes away from the killing the enemies, so the weapons don't really get leveled up on them that much. That's why personally I haven't done that many sabotage missions. I do prefer my exterminate and interception. Of course, there is lots of other different kind of game types you can bring out for these. Archwing racing would be nice. Just set out a racetrack through the asteroids where you've got to get from A to B as well, I would say as quick as possible, but just racing the other tenno. Nobody loses at the end, everybody wins. It's just the person who comes in first gets more money. So it would literally be just for fun, like the PvP stuff. That would be nice. And I'm getting seriously off topic here. Anyway, this weapon, it was good. It does a nice amount of damage. It's really good against the shielded guys. It takes them out much quicker than the other two weapons, which is what made this really good for Uranus, which is why getting it on a sabotage mission on an easier planet means you can have this weapon while farming Uranus to get the second Archwing. Was it the Onyx? No, that's not right. Gotta be is it the Eltron and the I keep calling it the Odanta, but I think that's wrong anyway. Yes, to get the Eltron Archwing from the Uranus interception missions, this hammer it's almost a necessity, to be honest, just because that impact, being able to take off the shields, it goes up to 358.4 on the impact. That literally makes it a necessity if you are farming Uranus for the Eltron Archwing, because those guys can be a huge pain. So having the ability to take down the shields quicker, even if you just take the shields off and run, the other people you're playing with can shoot them and take them out. But this weapon is definitely needed for those missions. So anyway, we'll leave this off here for now. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.